Good evening. Welcome on in to the evening edition of From Day One. Tonight, courtesy of our good friend over at Dunning-Kruger, we're going to go to the state of New York in Bergen County to see how being a frauditor can cost you a shit ton.
See what I can get. Here we go. Here's that. Here's that.
You're filing this?
Yes. I need it, I guess, time stamped.
Don't have that. Make a copy.
Thank you.
You have your information on it?
Yeah, that's my email address. It can be sent to my email, yeah.
Your name on here?
Huh?
Your name?
No.
You guys got no time for your bullshit.
You can just send it to my email address, that's fine.
If
Yeah,
we
we're not
have
sending
this,
shit
which I
to
doubt
you.
we do, you have to pay for it.
I have to pay to get public information?
Well, in a lot of cases, yes. Yes, you do. It costs the taxpayers lots of money to seek out these records, redact what's necessary, and often have an attorney look them over. It's surprising she didn't know this given her self-given title as an investigative journalist.
Oh, you
Doesn't
mean
my
an
tax
epic moron?
dollars have pay for that?
Well, it's funny you bring this up, Riot Girl, especially since you've owed the Bucks County taxpayers $2,000 for almost 2 decades.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what you want, right?
What?
I'll respond by email, that's what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
I need a receipt that you received it. It has to have a timestamp, date on it, or something. I need something saying you received it.
I don't know what to do.
Are you within 30 days of being
Yeah, I have to
fired?
pay by the 24th.
Okay.
Or do it by the 24th.
Okay, so you're looking to appeal?
Yes.
When were you found guilty at the district court?
The 24th of May.
Okay, do you have any paperwork? with
I
you?
have it on my phone.
What does that even say?
I can bring it up on the
My
computer,
name
that makes
and
it easier, and if
received
you
and the
wanna use
date.
your phone, you tell me.
Okay.
You can use my phone.
All right.
I got it.
Let me get.
Okay.
Okay.
And now what will happen?
Girl,
hopefully we'll
Okay. Now what will happen?
I'll respond by email, that's what you requested.
Okay. And what's the time frame?
Very soon.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a good day. All right. We get everything done. You know, isn't it funny that he couldn't give me a piece of paper this big? He gave me tiny little papers, and then he copied it on a freaking piece of copy paper anyway. Oh, it's so annoying.
Oh, you're so annoying.
At this point in her career, I'm starting to believe Riot Girl is a parody of auditing channels. If it is, bravo, because she's nailed a lot of their nonsense. If it's not, well, our country's future is f***ed.
Yeah.
So,
By the way,
the Long Island audit was at this one, and I'm thinking that he pretty much educated everybody.
Do you see what I mean here? This isn't activism. This isn't investigative journalism. She's literally just a fangirl of another YouTuber. Okay, let's fast forward a couple of weeks.
all right, give me July 20th.
I made an anonymous FOIA request for criminal information about Bucks County police officers. And I made it anonymously, and I just gave the clerk of courts my email address. So I waited to get the response, and he responded. And he said, "Dear," and then he used my full first and last name when I made the request anonymously. So I would like to know why the clerk of courts has enough power to do that.
Enough power just to find out your name? Well, quite frankly, it wasn't very hard for me. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be able to do the same.
Like, who helped him figure out who I was? I made an anonymous FOIA request, right? Okay, so first he does that to intimidate me. He sends me the email with my full name in it, right? Okay, I thought that was it. No, that was not it. I just checked my mail this morning, and guess what was in it?
Hopefully a sledgehammer.
This. Dear I'm not going to say my name. I'm required to attend a hearing on August 1st at 9:45 a.m. to discuss my financial obligations to Bucks County. And then there's 2 docket numbers listed. I tried to Google them. I tried to put them through the judicial search for our state. They don't exist.
Oh my God.
Well, Riot Girl, I hate to tell you this, but they most certainly do exist.
What?
I know, Lloyd. I was shocked as well that once again this investigative journalist couldn't seem to find her own court records.
But interestingly enough, the 2 dates are the 2 charges I've ever had on my record. So yeah, I got something in 2001 and then something in 2007. That's my whole record. That's it. 2 things on it.
Yep, she has had 2 previous arrests, one stemming from a possession charge all the way back in 2001 where she pled guilty. She received a sentence that included parole and related fees/fines. Here's where she even agreed to a payment plan for said fines. However, she never made a single payment towards these and still owes almost $500 2 decades later. Her second arrest was for DUI with a high rate of alcohol kicker. She once again pled guilty to these crimes, receiving 2 days in jail, fines, and more time on probation. And once again, they gave her a payment plan to meet these obligations, and once again, she failed to make one single payment. I suppose she figured she had already gotten away with this once 6 years prior. Why the hell not try it again? And it worked. Until now.
They're 100% doing it to intimidate you. I know. These docket numbers don't exist. They just wanted to show that they know my record and they know my name and they know my address. Like, it's so easy to figure out who I am. It doesn't take a detective to figure it out. Like,
okay, you just admitted it's so easy to figure out your name. What's the big deal? Surely you're not just upset because these fines have resurfaced once again. Nah, that couldn't possibly be the case.
I have no idea. Both of my charges I paid for. They're over. They happened almost a decade ago. Come on.
And here she is lying to her audience because frauded her.
I'm going to the clerk of courts. I'm explaining everything to him about what this dude did to me, intimidating me, harassing me, sending mail to my house, telling me I have a court date that's not even real. He probably did it so I would go to the court date and they'd be like, who are you? Why are you here? Just to screw with me, right?
Yeah, because that's logical. It could be that this came up because you owe $2,000 to the taxpayers of Bucks County.
But anyways, he sent me this in the mail that I have to come to court. So I decided it's time for a revisit.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what time it is, sir? Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't think people want to.
Yeah, I know. Can you tell me what time it is, sir?
Time to be off the video.
Is it? 10:30. Thank you very much. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, why'd you come so close to me like that?
Can you take?
Why would you do that?
I would like to not be on your video.
Please don't come on top of me like that. Were you going to put your hands on me? Are you kidding me?
I would like to not be on the video.
I would like you not to put your hands on me, ma'am.
Are you an actress? It's very loud.
This woman just almost put her hands on me because I'm filming.
2 quick things. First, the woman asked her if she was an actress and said, because if you are, you're really terrible at it. Riot Girl actually was an actress and claims to have almost been the lead in the Transformers franchise. Second, notate how fast she ran to the dirty pigs for help when someone, quote, almost touched her. And I just have one question. Is almost running into someone a misdemeanor or a felony?
Guess what? You're not allowed to put your hands on anybody either. That's breaking the law, ma'am.
Okay,
It's
so
not a joke.
The cell phone. It is. You're a joke.
Got her.
Well, first of all,
Are you audio? Are you audio recording?
yes, I am.
That's illegal, right?
It is not illegal, sir.
It is, okay. I just want to put that on your record, so when it's down the road, we have it recorded. What can I do?
I was here 2 weeks ago and it was fine then.
Wasn't,
No, it
it wasn't fine then.
Okay, well, I made an anonymous FOIA request with you.
Yes.
And I gave you my email. You remember that?
Emailed you.
Yes, you did, and you used my first and last name. So how did you get that, sir?
We have records, we have criminal records here.
Why did you have to look up my criminal record? What crime did I break? Pardon me?
I want to know who made the request.
But I made it anonymous. You're not allowed to do that, sir.
Well, it's public record. You're big on public records, right?
Why would I be big on what do you mean?
Isn't this all about the public and what's available and showing them things? Isn't that sort of the underlying?
Well, I just want to know why I would make an anonymous request and then you wouldn't honor that.
It was a courtesy. I'm addressing it to you.
A courtesy? I made it anonymous because I didn't want you to know my name, sir.
Who received email, right? So it wasn't published.
Oh, how does it feel to want?
He has a point here. He never released any of her information. He just addressed her in an email by her name. And checking out her text on the screen, now anonymous government grievances are a protected activity. Which part of the records she requested was the grievance part? I read over her records request. It was mostly just names, positions, and salaries of police officers. That's not a grievance. That's just a records request.
Okay. Now let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this intimidation. This time you have my name and address. So what's that about?
That's our drip collection program. This is good to get out there for the public. We go back and collect money owed on old cases. So you got one of these. What's your docket number?
It's amazing that I came in here and did an anonymous FOIA request, yet you looked up my criminal record.
Right.
I'm very confused as to why you would do that, sir. I think a lawyer might be on my side on this one.
No, we're not.
So what is this? Why are you sending stuff to my house? Why are you using my real name? Why didn't you make the request anonymously like I asked?
I answered the last one. I'll answer your other questions for you. We have a program.
You should have never looked up my record, sir.
Answer, or
Do you think the judge is going to agree with you?
Do you want me to answer?
Go ahead.
We have a program, delinquency recovery program, started 4 years ago. We go back and collect old cases, balances that are owed the county.
Why did you look up my record, sir?
Again, we are going to notate her little text bubble saying, quote, I didn't get a $750 bill 4 years ago when the program started. I got a bill after I audited your office, dude. Double exclamation point to show fierceness. This, as it turns out, is a complete falsehood. Let's take a look at her DUI case first. They tried reaching her for 832 days with no luck. Her notices continued to be returned as undeliverable and sent to a collection agency. In 2020, when this new program was installed, they determined, maybe through tax records, that she was able to pay these fines. Yet, she continued to resist. The exact same thing was happening for years in her possession case as well. Riot girl, stop lying to your audience. I promise you, it will catch up to you.
I did an anonymous request and you broke the law.
What law is that?
You are not allowed to. First of all, it's anonymous, sir. When I make an anonymous FOIA request, it has to stay anonymous.
No.
It is not within your authority to look up my criminal record.
Yes,
Someone gave you my name?
And people identified you.
No one knows my name, sir, on YouTube.
That's not true. I know it.
You used my first and last name when it was an anonymous request.
Okay.
That's wrong.
We disagree. Okay.
We disagree? Do you do this to everyone?
Please,
Are you gonna do this to him? Are you gonna look up his criminal record?
Please.
Are you gonna look up their criminal records?
Don't even put that camera on me.
There's no invitation of privacy in public, sir.
I want to point this out because this is the second person in 10 minutes that she's gotten into an argument with. I know it seems like these auditors have a lot of support around the world, and no doubt, some are very, very popular. But who are they popular with? It seems to me it's mostly people who either enjoy conflict, who have for one reason or another issues with the police, or simply those that have issues with people they perceive as having power over them, the same people we put into place to help run our country. Is it always clean? Absolutely not. But berating public officials because you haven't paid your fines for 2 decades doesn't seem like the best way to rectify things.
You want to discuss the outstanding fines and costs you owe Bucks County now? I mean, you're here, we can get you on a payment plan.
This shouldn't even exist, sir.
Well, it does exist because you still owe the money, right, girl?
Can I speak to your supervisor, please? Who is above you, sir? Who do I make a formal? I'm making a formal complaint against you. Where do I do it?
What kind of formal
toilet
a
paper,
complaint that you
and
took my anonymous FOIA request. I'm gonna have my lawyer do it too. That you took my anonymous FOIA request. Someone gave you my name.
Is it a private criminal?
Excuse me?
Is it a private criminal complaint? I mean, tell me specifically so I can tell you where to go to handle it.
You should have never looked up my name.
What kind of complaint are you trying to make?
Against you? That you broke your policy and the law by looking up, but someone just gave you my name? Why are you lying like that?
Since she knows all the laws, I'm dying to know which law specifically was broken here.
And then I consider this definitely with the email on this, harassment and intimidation. So then do I go to the sheriffs or do I go to the Doylestown police? How do I do that? Because I don't want to be intimidated and harassed by you anymore.
I find it rather amusing that she's seeking advice from the person she's trying to press charges against, asking for information from him exactly how to proceed. That's how you journalism, folks.
You're lying because you're scared now, because you know I'm going to HR, you know I'm going to the police. This is called harassment, sir, and intimidation. It's called retaliation because you don't like the county, and you're mad that a whole bunch of people called you and complained about you.
Please tell me you didn't do a call flood. Oh, you're doing a call flood. There's the phone.
That terrible fake laugh was quite telling, and probably the reason she didn't get to star in Transformers over Megan Fox. He said he didn't receive a single phone call from their previous interaction, so she decides to throw the number on screen once again to prove a point.
Okay, that's probably because I put it under Mike Reed, the false name you gave me.
I didn't give you a false name. I put my name on the email I sent you. Where do you get this stuff from?
Throughout her videos and community posts, she persistently asserted that the clerk had provided her with a false name, something I would have been upset about too. I'm not going to lie, this had me stumped for hours. She claimed he gave her the name Mike Reed, which isn't his last name.
Okay, that's probably because I put it under Mike Reed, the false name you gave me.
Despite carefully examining every second of her interactions with him, I just couldn't find any evidence to support her claim. But just like any other good, fake, independent journalist working on a story, I finally cracked the case. During their first interaction, she insisted on Mike providing a stamped copy of her records request. Mike didn't have a stamp, so he wrote on the records request as received, his signature, and the date. Our freedom fighter mistook where he wrote received as read, leading her to the narrative that Mike had been lying to her.
Damn, I'm good! Can you feel that? Huh? Can you feel it?
Do you want me to pull them up?
Sure.
Sure.
Hey, got a moron over here. What do you guys want to do with the moron?
I can't believe that this is what happens when you come into a courthouse with a camera.
No, it's what happens
You
when
can-
you owe the county money.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten anything from you guys in over a decade.
Because it was in collections, and this new program removed them from collections, actually saving the people the fee that would normally go to the collections agency.
I remember how angry you were when I was here last time. I was out front, I couldn't find my car, I was crying and asked you for help, and you looked at me and kept walking. That was awesome. When I was out front and you were running across to the other place and I was trying to find my car and I was on the ground crying and I said, could you please tell me where Bellwell Street is? I'm lost. And you said, I don't know. And looked at me like that, walked away.
What do you want? So you want me to make up where a street is? I don't understand you. You asked me if I knew where a street was. I said I'd never heard of the street. That's
But you didn't have this face on. You were like, ugh. You were so mad at me last time I was here. And that's why I got this.
Every single auditor out there has a victim complex. The previous clip was the perfect illustration of such a claim.
You could set up a couple bucks a month and start chipping away at it. Then you'll be current. We'll give you current status. So if it ever comes up anywhere else, it'll look good.
Like, what's the least I can pay?
I'm not paying anything. I'm not going to court. That's why I'm here today.
You manage.
Like, nothing?
I'm not paying anything. I'm not going to court. That's why I'm here today.
You manage a little bit above nothing.
Um,
I don't want to make it up for you. It's whatever.
Can I do 10?
Yeah.
I'm not paying anything. I'm not going to court. That's why I'm here today.
Really? Okay.
And a month.
I'm not paying anything. I'm not going to court. That's why I'm here today.
And just like that, Riot Girl is on a new payment plan. What will happen now is anyone's guess, but I'll be keeping an eye out on her payments to remind her periodically of her debt she still owes the taxpayers of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. It's the least I can do for we the people. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you, Dunning. Informative as always. And for those of us who are going to complete today here on From Day One, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, be kind to one another, and release the Krakens as we march along here from Day One. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.